So this is how it begins, not with a championship banner or a blockbuster trade, but with a blueprint. A $78 million bombshell dropped straight into the heart of the WNBA. And make no mistake, this wasn't a routine press release. It was a warning shot, a declaration of war from the Indiana Fever to the rest of the league. Their message was clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just their star. She's their empire. And now they're building her a throne. The moment the announcement hit, the league shifted. This wasn't just about a practice facility. It was a complete overhaul of the WNBA power structure. A 108,000 square foot fortress, engineered with one goal in mind: domination. From 2 full-size courts to high-tech recovery zones, mental health suites, and even a podcast studio. This wasn't just for training. It was for crafting legends. But here's where it gets explosive. The timing, the precision, the way Indiana unveiled this master plan just as Clark's influence hit its peak. It wasn't coincidental. It was orchestrated. The Fever have watched as she pulled their franchise from the shadows into the global spotlight. And now, they're repaying her with the keys to a kingdom. No more shared gyms. No more makeshift routines. This is an empire tailored for one woman. And in the background, panic. Because while Indiana was building cathedrals, other franchises were still renting gym space. You think Aya Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces aren't paying attention? You think Angel Reese, fresh into the league, isn't watching with wide eyes? The entire WNBA just got put on notice. The game has changed, and the Fever are holding the blueprints. The team CEO said it himself. This is about becoming the best franchise in the world, not the best in the league, not the best in the Midwest, the best in the world. That's the kind of ambition that rattles walls. And it's the kind of ambition that centers itself on one player, Caitlin Clark, a 22-year-old phenom, now treated like a generational CEO, and deservedly so. Why? Because she's not just winning games, she's rewriting the playbook. Ticket sales quadrupled since her arrival. National broadcasts are suddenly scrambling to get Fever games on air. Jerseys are flying off shelves. And all of this, every bit of it, flows through Caitlin Clark. That's not hype. That's market-shifting power. And the Fever, they're not letting it go to waste. And let's talk about that facility again. This isn't just luxury. This is functionality that intimidates. Infrared therapy rooms, strength training zones on par with elite NBA teams, custom-designed lounges, even mental health resources designed to keep players emotionally primed. It's not just a training center. It's a culture shift, one that screams, we care about our players, and we're not apologizing for it. Now imagine walking into that facility as a new player. You're not just joining a team. You're entering a system, one designed from the ground up to make you a star. And you'd be lying if you said it didn't appeal to you. Free agents across the league are looking at Indiana and rethinking everything. Contracts, loyalty, legacy. Because this is where championships are made. The Fever didn't stop at bricks and mortar. They moved fast, locking down their core. Starting with Kelsey Mitchell, a 1-year supermax, a rare core designation, a statement. She's not just a scorer. She's now a foundational piece. Mitchell averaged over 19 points a game last season, and when paired with Clark's passing vision, she becomes a lethal second option. That's not just strategy. That's chess. And then there's Aaliyah Boston, the post-up powerhouse who is quickly becoming the defensive spine of the franchise. Her chemistry with Clark is electric. High-low passes, rim protection, second chance buckets. Boston and Clark already look like a duo destined for highlight reels. Now, add Mitchell to the mix, and you got a trio that could run the league for a decade. But Indiana's not done. Not even close. They've got $650,000 in cap space and a mission to build a dynasty. Enter Satu Sabally, the versatile forward with size, range, and vision. A nightmare matchup for any team. Sabally averaged 18.6 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.4 assists last season. That's elite-level output. Pair her with Clark, you get fireworks. Sabally has already played her last game in Dallas. That's confirmed. And now the question is, where will she land? Indiana's waving the biggest flag. With money, vision, and a system built for player growth, Sabally wouldn't just be joining a team. she'd be joining a revolution. And when that happens, the WNBA may never look the same. But wait, Gabby Williams, another name on Indiana's radar. A seasoned, adaptable veteran who thrives under pressure. She defends, scores in transition, and can play any role asked of her. That's exactly the kind of utility weapon the Fever want to add to their arsenal. This isn't about collecting stars. It's about building a team so dangerous, so multidimensional, that opponents run out of counters. And here's where things go nuclear. All of these pieces, Clark, Boston, Mitchell, Sabally, Williams, fit together. Offense, defense, shooting, leadership, youth, versatility. No holes, no weaknesses. Just a machine built for sustained dominance. Not one title, not two, but a full-fledged era of control. Behind the scenes, development coach Keith Porter is engineering something terrifying. His entire mission is to make Caitlin Clark not just better, but untouchable. He's increasing her range, tightening her handles, preparing her for every double team and switch imaginable. He's not just coaching, he's weaponizing. Porter has made one thing clear. Clark will not be figured out. You may think you can game plan her. You may think you've seen the film. But by the time you adjust, she's already 5 moves ahead. That's how dynasties are built. With vision, with ruthless preparation, with stars who are getting even better. And just when you think Indiana's looking at the short game, they hit you with the long view. Clark's contract ends in 2028. Boston's in 2027. And guess what else launches in 2027? The new facility. You think that's accidental? No, that's architecture. That's design. That's locking in talent and surrounding them with generational infrastructure. Even Lisa Leslie couldn't help but salute it. This is what investing in women looks like, she said. And she's right. Because Indiana isn't just talking about equality. They're building it. No more cutting corners. No more shared courts with birthday parties and yoga classes. This is professional. This is premium. And the rest of the league? They've got catching up to do. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is acting like none of this is a big deal. Calm, focused, mature beyond her years. Teammates describe her as almost too relaxed until she hits the court and reminds everyone why she's the most electrifying talent the league has seen in years. She's 22, but commands attention like a seasoned MVP. And yes, her MVP case is already building. She's 22, but already carries herself like a seasoned veteran. The moment Clark steps on the court, something changes, not just for the Indiana Fever, but for everyone watching. There's a hush, a pause, an unspoken recognition that greatness is unfolding in real time. She doesn't need to flex. She doesn't need to scream. Her game speaks volumes. Her vision, surgical. Her range, unfair. Her confidence, untouchable. This isn't just talent. It's destiny. And that MVP conversation, it's no longer a whisper. It's a roar. She was already top 4 in voting as a rookie. That alone should make history books weep. But with the Fever surrounding her with stars, structure, and a facility built to extend her reign, this isn't just about winning MVP. This is about owning it for years, maybe longer. Because Caitlin Clark isn't playing for awards. She's playing for legacy. Let's be real. How many rookies walk into a league and instantly triple revenue? How many athletes walk into professional sports and make their franchise the most talked about organization in months? One, her name is Caitlin Clark. And Indiana knows it. That's why this plan isn't just bold. It's calculated, ruthless, brilliant. The Fever are doing what no other WNBA team has dared to do. Bet the house on one generational player and build everything around her. But don't mistake that for recklessness. This isn't a gamble. It's a blueprint. Clark isn't just a scorer. She's a culture reset. The kind of figure who brings sponsors, networks, and young fans pouring into the arena. That's why Indiana isn't hesitating. They're moving like a Fortune 500 company. Fast, aggressive, and forward-thinking. They're investing in the now while anchoring the future. And let's not overlook what this means for women's sports as a whole, because the ripple effect is real. With every headline about the new facility, with every record-breaking attendance stat, the bar is raised, and suddenly, the pressure is on other franchises. They can't keep operating like it's 2005. Shared courts and makeshift recovery rooms? That's over. Indiana just tore down the old standard, and built a new one in its place. What we're witnessing isn't just a franchise makeover. It's a league-wide revolution. Players on other teams are already talking. Executives are watching. Owners are scrambling. Why? Because the Fever just revealed how far behind the curve they really are. If you're a WNBA team still budgeting for mediocrity, you're in trouble. Because Indiana isn't just building stars, they're building gravity. And other players, they're feeling the pull. And that pull is magnetic. If you're a free agent looking to win titles, build your brand, and play with the most electrifying pass in the game, where are you going? Indiana. It's not even a question. Clark's mere presence turns average players into threats. Put shooters around her, unstoppable. Add rebounders, unbeatable. Give her a defensive wing like Gabby Williams, or an all-around star like Satu Sabally. That's not a team. That's a nightmare for the rest of the league. The irony? Just a year ago, the Fever were an afterthought, a rebuilding team with potential, but no real spotlight. Fast forward to now, and they're the most dangerous franchise in the WNBA. How? One word. Vision. A vision built around a player who doesn't just change games, but changes the game. And this time, that vision is being executed to perfection. There's something poetic about it, too. For decades, women's sports have been underfunded, undervalued, and overlooked. But the Fever just flipped the script. They're showing the world what it looks like when you actually invest in greatness. When you go all in. When you don't just say the right things, you build them. Brick by $78 million brick. This facility isn't just steel and drywall. It's a message, a signal that women athletes deserve world-class resources, not just bare minimum accommodations. That they deserve recovery suites, elite training, personalized development, and yes, even nail salons and podcast studios. Because when you treat your players like stars, they perform like legends. And for Clark, this is just the beginning. She's not even in her prime yet. Think about that. We're watching a generational athlete who's still learning, still adapting, still evolving, and she's already dominating. With Keith Porter by her side, her development won't plateau. It'll explode, and when it does, we'll look back at this moment as the start of something historic. The true genius of Indiana's strategy lies in its synchronicity. Everything clicks. Contracts, cap space, facility timeline, all aligns. Boston's rookie deal expires in 2027. Clark's deal ends in 2028. The facility opens in 2027. It's like watching dominoes fall perfectly in sequence. By the time those contracts end, Indiana will be too powerful to ignore and too elite to leave. Other franchises should be terrified, because while they're still scouting for puzzle pieces, the Fever are halfway through painting the masterpiece. And Clark? She's the brush, the paint, and the canvas. The entire league is now reacting to her. Defensive schemes, marketing strategies, media coverage. She's not just playing in the WNBA. She is the WNBA right now. Even the league's biggest legends are taking notice. Lisa Leslie, a titan in women's basketball, has already thrown her praise behind this movement. And when icons speak, the world listens. This isn't just a hot streak. It's a cultural movement. And Caitlin Clark is its face, its voice, and its engine. The scariest part? We've only scratched the surface. Clark hasn't hit her ceiling. This facility hasn't even opened yet. Sabally and Williams haven't signed. The super team isn't fully formed. But even now, before the paint dries and the banners are raised, Indiana is winning something far more valuable than a game. They're winning the future. So if you're on another team, if you're watching from the sidelines, let this be your wake-up call. This is what happens when you dream big, spend boldly, and bet on brilliance. The Indiana Fever aren't here to participate. They're here to dominate, to rewrite the rules, to spark a dynasty. The blueprint has been drawn. The throne is being built. And sitting at the center of it all, unbothered and unmatched, is Caitlin Clark, the architect of the future, the storm in sneakers and the queen of a new era. Watch closely. The WNBA will never be the same again. Let's be honest, she was already top 4 in MVP voting last year, and that was without the facility, without the super team. Now she's got the tools, the team, the system. She's not just coming for the MVP, she's coming for the crown. And the rest of the WNBA can either compete or get out of the way. Because here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Caitlin Clark is the kind of player you can build a league around. Not just a team, a league. She sells tickets. She commands viewership. She inspires the next generation. And the Fever know it. That's why they're not treating her like just another star. They're treating her like the blueprint. So when you step back and look at the full picture, one thing becomes blindingly clear. Indiana's not just playing basketball. They're playing chess with the entire future of the WNBA. And every piece on the board has been moved with intent, precision, power. This isn't just a plan. It's a revolution. And by the time the league realizes what's happening, it may already be too late. The Fever aren't coming. They're already here. And they're not asking for permission. They're taking over.